We all know that error is not uncommon in our life. Someone grabs shell as silver, idam rajatam. Now we have to understand three things about this error. Error means brahmaha, false cognition. Three things we have to know about this error. Number one, what is the procedure? How does it happen? Number two, what is the nature of error? Number three, what are the different notions about error, or different positions about error? First, adopting Nyaya philosophy, I would like to explain the procedure of this error. How does it happen? If it is truly a shell, how can one grasp it as silver? Katham rajatam iti jnanam jayate. The procedure is like that. A person stands before a shell. It is shell. A shell is connected with his senses. He has got a contact with shell. Indriya Sannikarsha is there. With that Indriya Sannikarsha, normally what happens? The thing, the object which has got a contact with a sense or sensors would be grasped as it is. When it is, if cell is having contact with the sense, then the form of that cognition which is emerging will be the same. This is shell, this is a shell. Iyam shukti, idam shukti shakalam. But here in the case, when the dosha can be translated like some error, some mistake, or some blemish, like that we can translate it. Then a dosha is there. The nature of shell is not grasped. The nature of shell is the essential property of shell. The essential property of shell is shellness. Shellness shuktitva. Shuktitva is the essential property of shell. Then the shellness is not grasped. Why shellness is not grasped? Because of the dosha. Because of the what is a mistake or error in the eyes. Or dosha is uttered as dosha here because of the dosha. Shuktitva, the shellness, the essential property of shell is not grasped. What is the dosha? What is the dosha? This is the glittering shell. The glitter is dosha. When the shell is in the sunshine, when the shell is in the sunshine is itself is dosha. Because of sunshine, some glitter is there, some light is there. Chakachakya, it is there. Chakachakya. Chakachakya is not a word. Chakachaka, it is there in the colloquial terms. It is like chakachaka. Chakachaka is called chakachakya in Sanskrit. Because of this chakachakya, some hindering shine. All shines are not hindering. If I am sitting in the tube light, under the tube light, this light is not hindering, it is supporting. But whereas if the light is very heavy, the light is very heavy, then what happens? It hinders. So because of that dosha, he doesn't grasp the shellness. But in his mind, Rajata is there. In his mind, Rajata, silver is there. Generally, people think about a good thing which is liked by him or her. Okay. The Rajata is very much liked. So, when the remembrance of Rajata is there, the contact with the shell is there, the shellness is not grasped because of dosha. What happens? He grasps, he understands, he perceives shell as Rajata. He perceives shell as Rajata. I think you understand the point. Dosha is there. Dosha does two things. Dosha does disrupt the understanding of Shuktitva, shellness. Dosha does another thing also. Dosha gives the notion of Rajata also. Since the person or our sense doesn't have contact with Rajata. Rajata is not present here. Rajata is not present here. I think you understand the point. Rajata is not present here. The thing present before you is shell only. But Rajata is perceived. The perceived Rajata shall have contact with the sense. But contact is not there. Rajata is there in the bazaar. Rajata is there in the bazaar. Then Rajata is there in the bazaar. Rajata is there in the bazaar. Do you know? Rajata is there in the bazaar. So you don't have contact with Rajata, but you perceive. You do have contact with the shell, but you don't perceive shell as shell. There comes dosha. Because of dosha, the shellness is not grasped. Rajata is grasped. This is one of the points. There are many points. one of the points is dosha is a tool. Dosha is playing important role here. Okay. Here, one more thing we have to understand. If the shellness is grasped, if the shellness is grasped, you cannot say that Rajata idam Rajatam iti jnanam mama jatam. You cannot say that the Rajata is grasped here, perceived here. Because if shellness is experienced, how can you say this is a silver? That it is a silver. You understand, I think. That's why all Shastrakaras uniformly say that the shellness shall not be grasped here. Okay. So the theory of error is like that. Dosha plays a major role. Dosha plays a major role here. What is the major role? Because of dosha, the essential property of the thing which is present before you is not grasped. Because of dosha, though the silver has no contact with the sense, the silver has no contact with the the sense is grasped. Two things dosha causes. Okay. Another theory is there like that. These are, I am talking about Gangeshopadhyaya's theories, not other systems. Another system is there. Yes, sir. The Rajata has no contact. Yes, the mundane contact is not there. Rajata is existing elsewhere. There is no contact actually, but Rajata has got Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati, Alaukika Pratyasati. One day I explained Alaukika Pratyasati. He is some days before he saw a silver in the bazaar. In the bazaar, he saw a silver. Remembrance of silver is there always. Always he is remembering that silver. That silver is present here through Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati. Pratyasati means contact, Sannikarisha. Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati means Jnana itself is a contact. Through that Jnana, through that remembrance, Rajata is brought here, Upanita. Rajata is brought here through that cognition or remembrance, recollection, smriti. Okay, this is another point that is called Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati. In the case of Idam, in the case of Shukti, shell, you are experiencing the cognition in the form of Idam Rajatam. Idam Rajatam.
Acharya,
how does it happen?
Acharya, in case of Gangeshopadhyaya's mata, then how is there is no Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati in Gangeshopadhyaya's
No, yeah. He accepts Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati.
Okay. So how is this? Okay, so how is this matam different from Gangeshopadhyaya's mata?
This is Gangeshopadhyaya mata.
Okay, this is okay.
Gangeshopadhyaya gave three. Gangeshopadhyaya gave three versions. Number one version is dosha. Dosha itself brings Rajata here. Dosha itself brings silver here. Though physical contact is not available. One. Another thing is we have to depend on dosha. In the case of error, In the case of error, dosha is the core point, it is a core cause. We cannot avoid dosha in the case of error, Brahma. Dosha shall be there, but dosha is helping you for not understanding, not experiencing this shellness only, but to get the contact with Sannikarsha, to get the Sannikarsha with the another thing, what is it? To get the Sannikarsha with Rajata, which is perceived here. There you have to depend on Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati. In very easier terms, we can say the remembrance of silver itself is contact. Remembrance of remembrance spelling is a remembrance of silver itself is a contact here. Okay. But the question is there, Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati, whether it is tenable or not. Everyone doesn't accept Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati. And then how can you explain the contact between Rajata and our sense? Okay. The third point is there. Samskara itself is the pratyas. Samskara brings. How does it happen? A person recently experienced silver in the bazaar. Then he came to seashore. In the sunshine, he perceives shell as Rajata. How Rajata is brought here? He has got the samskara. Now I will give you one example. Vrikshe cha pashyami chira krishnajinam para. Maricha was sent by him. Maricha is a character. Maricha was sent by Ravana or someone, I don't know, Ravana, to betray Lord Rama. But the Maricha knows about Rama's parakram, his greatness and his the valor and everything. What he did, I cannot go there. He is such a great warrior. I cannot fight with him. Like that he was telling with Ravana. But Ravana forced him to go to work for him. Then he told, Vrikshe cha pashyami chira krishna jinambaram. In all trees I am seeing Rama. Because of his earlier experience, that the samskara itself is very, very, very strong. If the samskara is strong, on every, if the samskara is strong on every tree, he perceives Bhagavan. Like that, if a person is very poor, duties, poverty, he always thinks about Rajatam. Then what happens? When shining thing, all shining things are grasped as Rajata. Our teacher used to tell, our great teacher, he used to tell why the Shastrakaras use this example. Because the previous in those generations, the Shastrikas were very poor. They didn't have this Rajata. They did see Rajata only in the Bajar and some other house. Okay, that's why the memory is like that. In the memory, the liked things are full in our memory. The liked things are full in our memory. Okay, so idam rajatam. The rajata is three points I have experienced. Sorry, I explained. Number one, rajata is brought through dosha. Rajata is brought through remembrance. Jnana Lakshana Pratyasati. Number three, Rajata is brought because of samskara. Samskara itself. Samskara fetches remembrance. Why remembrance is required? Samskara itself is like that. When the samskara is very, very strong, what happens? Everything is like that only. Everything is known like that only. Sarvam tadkila matparayana maho kami swatam pashyati. Kalidas. Kashana kami vartave. Kami nam kichid ichchati sa. Rajatam ichchati. Suvarnam ichchati. Manita. Saha sarvada ichchati che. Loke yakopi jana evam gacchati chedapi. Oh mama krite rajatam anetume vayam gacchati. Mama krite swarnam anetume vayam gacchati chinte. Because his mind is full of that samskara, impression. One more very easy example, I am sharing with you. If you go to government office for any signature from collector, I didn't go, but I know collector, one signature is required. You give your letter to this class 4 person to get the signature from the governor, collector. That person goes, comes out, goes inside, comes out. 10 times he will do that. Each time we will think, oh, he has brought our signature. Sarvam tatkila matparayana maho kami swatam pashyati. But he has got numerous jobs to do. Our job is very trivial, but we think like that because samskara is like that. Okay, hence what happens? The emergence of error in the form of idam rajatam, emergence of error, that emergence of error in the form of idam rajatam. Idam rajatam is very much possible. Very much it is possible according to Gangesha Upadhyaya. Okay. But there are many opinions in the case of in regard of this error. Error is unavoidable. But there is no error. Is the position of Prabhakara. Just opposite stand taken by Prabhakara. Here, Nyayika's view is called Anyatha Khyati. Anyatha Khyati. Anya, second one, or another one. Tha. Tha means that is prakara. By other qualification. by other qualification, khyati, notion. Notion of a thing with some other qualification. Notion of a thing, notion of a shell with some other qualification. Some other means that the qualification which is not existing there. The qualification which is not existing there. Okay. The Rajatattva is not existing in Shukti. Rajatattva, the essential property of silver is not at all remaining in Shukti Shakala. Okay. Okay. So this is called Anyatha Khyati. Shukti shall is grasped with the qualification that is not at all present attribute or a qualifier or anything. But that should not, that shall not be present. That shall not be present in the shell. If shell is grasped as possessing shelltva, possessing shellness, what is the problem? This is not, this is true. If it is grasped as possessing Rajatattva, then only it is called Anyatha Khyati. But one more thing, just I am stressing, when shellness is not grasped, then only this kind of problems arise. Okay. If shellness is grasped, we cannot say the error has occurred. Nobody can say. The essential property, asadharana dharma. If it is grasped, you cannot say it is not this kind of error emerged. We cannot say. This kind of anyatha khyati is on the basis of our experience. This kind of anyatha khyati is on the basis of our experience. How does it happen? Idam rajatatvena ajnasisham. I have experienced after some time, first he experiences shell as rajata, shell as possessing this rajatattva. Then what happens? He goes, wants to take that shell for his use, for the marriage of his daughter. He wants to use that rajata. But this is not rajata. This is only shell. Then what he thinks? अरे मैंने इसको रजत माना है. सुत्तिम रजतत्वेन अज्ञासिषम. I have mistaken shell as rajata. Okay, here you see shuktim rajatatvena nyatavan. Then you have to accept this anyatha khyati. Shuktim rajatatvena nyatavan. Shukti में रजतत्व नहीं है. शुक्ति में रजतत्व नहीं है. शुक्ति में जो धर्म नहीं है, उसी आकार से शुक्ति को मैंने जाना है. I have perceived a shell with the silverness, which is not at all present in the shell, then anyasya anyatha bhanam, anyasya shukti shakalasya anyatha bhanam, anya prakarena bhanam, with an attribute, the notion with an attribute which is not at all present in the shell. Okay. Anyasya anyatha bhanam anyatha kya. But this is very interesting point. Prabhakara says, Anyasya kyanyatha bhanam pratiteva paragatam. What is this? Anyasya kyanyatha bhanam pratiteva paragatam. The other thing cannot be grasped. Other thing cannot, the one thing cannot be grasped with some other quality. It is not possible. Pratiteya paragatam. Pratiteya paragatam, this is against experience. This is against our experience. Why? Why? One thing can be grasped with an attribute which is present there only. Some other the absent attribute, how can form one absent attribute like Rajatatva cannot form a cognition. Prabhakara says, Ahobata Mahanesha Pramado Dhimatamapi Jnanasya Vyabhicharitve Vishwasa Kimli Bandhara. Prabhakara says, great scholars, elite scholars, they too are erratic. They say, they too erratic. They too are erratic. Why? They say some cognitions are erratic. Some cognitions are error. If you say some cognitions are true and some other cognitions are error, then the fight will go out. There will be no fight in any cognition. Because if there is a scope, vulnerability, if there is a vulnerability in the case of cognition, that is, if some cognitions are vulnerable for error, then every person will have a doubt about all cognitions. All cognitions. Oh, it may be wrong, it may not be wrong. Every cognitions will be under scrutiny. Then, okay, you scrutinize. What is the problem? If you go on scrutinizing each and every cognition, then where will be effort? The people will not be erroneous, very good. Very erratic is not correct. Erroneous. Then what happens? Nobody will be assertive in his effort. Nobody will firmly enter in the effort. Because some cognitions are true and some are wrong, false. That is your opinion, Nyaya opinion. Then they say this is not correct. I think Anisakhyati should not be accepted. Then what is the procedure? In the case of Idam Rajatam, they say this is Akhyati. This is Akhyati, Khyatya Bhava. Absence of Khyati, absence of understanding. Akhyati Vada means absence of understanding. The procedure is like that. Dosha is required. Dosha plays a core role in error. In the case of Idam Rajatam, what happens according to Prabhakara? According to Prabhakara, what happens? Prabhakara says, a person goes to beach and perceives shell. He, because of dosha, doesn't perceive the shellness, but he perceives a thing before him. Then he remembers Rajata, silver. Now what happens? Two things are there. One is perception of Shukti Shakala, shell, without grasping shellness. Another is remembrance of silver. Now two notions are before you. One is perception of the object. Number two, remembrance of silver. But the silverness, but the shellness is not grasped, as we explained earlier, because of dosha. Then what happens? Two cognitions are two cognitions are there. Two cognitions are here. Two cognitions are here. One is perception of the object before. Another is remembrance of silver. The Shuktitva, the shellness is not grasped. Okay, the matter is over. Then what happens? Because of these two cognitions, this person goes for effort. This person goes to take the silver. Goes to take the object. Then he finds that it is not silver. His effort is futile. The effort is wrong. But cognition is not wrong, because there are two cognitions. Remembrance is not false. And the idam, the purovritti jnana, the perceptual cognition of the thing, the object, is also not wrong. Okay. So his effort may be sublater later. It may be futile, but futile, but the cognitions which cause this effort are real only, true only, true only. And here is required. The person should not grasp. The person should not grasp the difference between Shukti and Rajata. The person should not grasp the difference between Shukti and Rajata. That's also very important. If he does understand the difference between the object before him and the remembered one, then he will not have the utterance like idam rajatam. He will
Acharya,
not.
Acharya, is it the case that both the cognitions, that is that perception of Shukti and remembrance of Rajata, these
Both are real. True.
No, both are simultaneous. Do they happen simultaneously?
No, not simultaneous, but they are existing simultaneously. First he grasps the object without shellness, the essential property of that shell. Without that, he first grasps. Then because of the dosha and other things, and this shining, because of the shining, he remembers Rajata.
So do they agree that the first cognition of shell is nirvikalpaka for them?
Not nirvikalpa. You don't say nirvikalpaka, but he understands shell as one of the things. Idam. In Prabhakar Siddhanta, nirvikalpaka is not there. Nirvikalpaka is not there. Nirvikalpaka not in the line of Tarkika.
That is what you had mentioned. So that is why I was wondering if that is the case, then what will that that cognition be?
Idam.
That's all. Okay.
Idam. Nirvikalpaka doesn't have any this one. Akara. Here the idam. The pratyaksha is like that idam. And this is followed by the remembrance rajatam. The remembrance shall be tad rajatam. Tat rajatam. Oh, that rajata. But because of that dosha, the tatta is erased. Pramushta tattaka. Tad rajata. He doesn't have the remembrance in the form of tat rajata. Because tat is erased. Pramushta tattaka. Tatta pramosha. People used to say. Because of dosha. Dosha is vital. Dosha is vital in all Brahma, all errors. But what they say is, it is very important, they don't accept these cognitions or anyatha khyadi, the error. These cognitions are true only. But the act or effort which is caused by these cognitions may be sometimes futile. Sometimes sometimes that is fruitful. Sometimes fruitful. but the person should not know the difference between the remembered one and the thing, the object before. If he does understand, well, that is that and this one are not identical. Like that, if he has got that kind of cognition, that what happens? Then what happens? Then what happens? The effort will not be there. He will not go for action. Oh, the Rajata I remember is different from this thing which is present here. Then, since he is Rajatarthi, he will not go for action. He will not go for taking that object. This is Prabhakar position, but this Prabhakar position is very good, since they don't accept Anitha Khyati in between. The remembrance is accepted by Nyaya. Everyone is accepted the remembrance of Rajatada. Then only Idam Rajatam iti Brahma Jayate. Everyone accepts the remembrance of silver in the situation of error. But what Prabhakara's speciality is, they don't accept some Anyatha Khyati in between. In between effort and this these cognitions. But Nyayika's theory is according to our experience. Aham shuktim rajatatvena jnatavan. So I heard Anitha Khyati. Everyone experiences like that in that case. So Anitha Khyati, Akhyati, both are very ancient positions. Afterwards, many positions came. The Atma Khyati, Asat Khyati, Sat Khyati, Sarvam Jnanam Yathartham. Ramanuja's theory is also there, and this theory also there, Anirvachaniya Khyati. There are many theories came up, but these two theories are far superior, since all other schools somewhere in the downline, they have to accept either Anitha Khyati or Akhyati. They cannot forego one of these theories.
What is the case with Bhatta Mimamsa also, Mahoday? Even in Bhatta Mimamsa?
Bhatta Mimamsa, they accept Anitha Khyati. Anitha Khyati. They say Viparita Khyati, but it is similar to Anitha Khyati. You see the Sautrantika, the Yogachara, Atma Khyati. They say everything is jnana only. The jnana is known as external, Bhakhyataya Jnayate. There are also Anitha Khyati unavoidable. Advaitins also Anirvachaniya Khyati they hold, but they too in Anumana Prakara, Anumana, they use only Anitha Khyati. The Ramanuja Siddhanta, they also they say Sarvam Jnanam Yathartham, but they too rely on Akhyati in Dehatma Brahma. So in Madhva Siddhanta, Abhinav Anitha Khyati, they accept Anitha Khyati. So these are the Anitha Khyati and Akhyati are very powerful systems, and I cannot explain everything here. I have written some two books on this one. Okay, we will discuss it later. Now I am going to wind up this session because of want of time. So with this I am this, taking leave from you.
Acharya, actually, from on behalf of MIT
No, it doesn't.
and Vedapapi, I am bound to offer my dhanyavadas to you, not officially or unofficially. That is not the concern, but definitely
Anirvachaniyam.
that is. But whatever. But personally, definitely, it has been very, very beneficial for me. Each and though we, as students of epistemology, we study all this multiple times, go through several books and all that. But the insights that you have presented here are very valuable.
And due to my experience, number one, with my all experience, I may not be a great scholar, but I have got experience. And one more thing, whatever I uttered here can be mostly authenticated. Mostly authenticated. I don't claim that I have done everything 100% correct. That is correctly. That is not my case. But whatever I shared with you, the things I have shared with you, mostly can be authenticated. You can work on these things, and you can so in some other time we will join and we will discuss these things.
Actually, the difference is between reading a book or attending, Granthasha, doing the lecture, and what you have done at the moment is actually giving us digested knowledge, which is very difficult to get. So,
okay, thank you. Thank you. I am getting late for some other
okay,
program.
Sir. Okay.
One, I thank one and all. Namaskar.
Namaste. Namaste.